Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits because we all need to be happy. We all need to have some positivity in our lives and all of that stuff. I am so thankful to be here with you guys. I missed you guys. I know we did a show last night, but I know a lot of y'all that aren't on the Diddy train weren't a part of the show last night. I know it was a late show. Regardless, it was a late show. So for those of y'all who are now tuning in that weren't with us last night, hi, welcome back. And I missed you guys. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be home, baby. It feels good to be home, nonetheless. But we got some things we got to talk about. Okay, so this is not going to be a super long show, but I wanted to give you a few updates in the Riley Strain case. Because like I said, when I went out there in Nashville, I said, yes, this chapter has closed, but the Riley Strain case, the Riley Strain story is still not over yet. Let me repeat that again. It is still not over yet. So I got questions. I'm understanding that the family has questions, or I like to say questiones. Let's keep it real. I got a lot of them because some of these things just don't math. But again, it could be nothing or it could be everything. We're going to talk about it. That's why we're here. And that's why we're doing this quick, very impromptu live. Okay. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot. If you're watching on all the platforms, hit that reaction button, hit that like button. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, send those likes past 300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. It helps the show, helps the story, helps get the word out, because I know there's a lot of people that are still wanting to know what's going on with this particular case. And I'm telling you right now, the case is not over yet. Just because he was found does not mean that it's over. And we got to get these questions answered as soon as possible. Don't forget, of course, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page, on X or Twitter. Follow me over there. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, The Pascal Show, one word. If you want to support the channel and you're watching on YouTube, hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. Your boy's working hard out here in these streets, as I like to say. Please be sure to hit that join button. It keeps these purple lights on. If you want to support even more, join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Or you can even just check out Pascal merch, my merch store, pascalmerch.com. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay? All right, let's get into this, guys. We got some things to talk about. And you know, I had a conversation just a little bit ago. And this is one of the reasons why I was compelled. I felt moved to hop on here and have a quick conversation with you guys about this. Okay. Like I said, this is not going to be a super long conversation, but there are some things that just don't make sense. And it could be, like I said, and I'm going to say this again, before everyone takes this, chops it up and puts it out into the internet streets. This could be something, but then again, it could be nothing. Okay, let me just repeat that. It could be something, but then again, it could be absolutely nothing. I have to preface all that now. Now, here's the thing. As you already know, we have been covering this Riley Strain case like a mug up in this piece. Okay, we have been working very diligently. Okay, everyone has. Everyone from mainstream media all the way down to social media. And let's be real, as much as we've been griping and giving 5-0 some hell, okay, and the powers that be and the people that have been working around it, they have been working tirelessly trying to find this young man. But they did find Riley Strain. He was found in the river, about 8.5 miles around that distance away from where he was last seen. Now, I did a whole thing. I was boots on the ground. First time I've ever done something like that. It struck up something. I might be doing that more often. I'm just going to say that right now. I know that there's some other really great content creators that do that are boots on the ground, that go out to the actual locations and do their own investigation, their own coverage, and I commend all of them, okay? There's some really great content creators out here that put in the time, y'all. But I may be doing some of those things on certain cases, depending, okay? Depending on time, etc., okay? I am just one person. I am balling on a budget. Let's not forget that too. Now, I went out there. I saw, and you saw the live. I'm assuming you guys saw the live where we were there, boots on the ground, walking around on his last steps. And I showed you guys the railing and maybe the place where he allegedly fell off on that embankment into the river. And of course, he was found miles down the river or upriver, however you say it. And I said, there's a part on the ground where it's really uneven. I mean, I'm telling you, there was rocks jutting out the ground this high. I'm not kidding. And I get why they were there, because they don't want people to maybe ride their bikes or roller skate or walk over there and think that they can just, what's the word? Saunter over there without any cautions at all, thinking that that railing is the only thing that's going to stop them. That those rocks themselves were definitely a forewarning, okay? A fair foreshadowing of, hey, you're about to go into an area that maybe you shouldn't be over at. Even myself, sober mind, wearing flat shoes, okay, regular Converse kicks, walked over there, and you saw that live. I had a struggle trying to cross those rocks. I was falling all over myself, sober, wearing sneakers. Now, I have to put things into consideration, like, hey, if I was not of sober mind and I was wearing some cowboy boots, which you'd never see me wear, but let's be real. If I was wearing cowboy boots like Riley was, I'm half cocked, I'm already feeling it. Maybe I have thrown up before. Low lighting, I'm stumbling already. There's a good possibility, okay, that he could have tripped over those rocks. But did he trip so hard and so fast that it sent him sailing over the rails, over that railing into the embankment and right into the river? I don't know. It seems a bit odd to me, guys. I'm going to be real. It seems a bit odd. But at the same time, I am just one person. I wasn't there, and I'm definitely not Riley. There's a lot of questions that are still being asked or being wondered by the family. And we're about to explain, or at least talk about that in just a second. First thing I want to share with you guys, getting straight into it, okay? Going straight into the meat and potatoes. Shout out to Nick Barris because of NC5, okay? Out there in the Nashville area. He has been doing incredible work covering this Riley Strain case. And of course, he asked some very important and big questions that hopefully answer a few things, but at the same time, I don't know if this is fully making the family happy. I don't think this satiates their wonderment. I don't think it satiates their theories, their suspicions, and whatnot. Don't worry, we are going to be talking about that in just a little bit. But let's take a look at this. There's also a news clip, like a video from him reporting about the autopsy, which we are going to be talking about here. He breaks it down, but he says, and Foreshadowing, or, fair warning, spoiler alert. I tend to get ahead of myself here. It's a blessing and a curse. But he says that there was not water in the lungs. Now, I know instantly everyone thinks, and I get it. So did I. As soon as I heard that, I go, what? With that in my head. Literally, that sound effect. What? Literally, I took a step back like, nah, you lying, bro. You lying. That don't make no sense. But then I saw something else, which we're going to look at it, and I'm going to come back to it in a second. Okay. I'm going to show this to you first, but we will be circling back to this in a second. And I'll explain why after we get back, we look at this. Okay. And we come back to it. But Brian Enton, shout out to Brian Enton, 15,000 salutes. I'm a big fan. Okay. Seriously. He's a beast. He's been doing really great work on many, many cases, as you guys already know. Something that's interesting about this. Now, we've been covering Diddy, okay? Yeah, they might as well send him up the river. It's over for Diddy. We already know about that. But here's the interesting part that I thought brought me online today, brought me live to talk about this particular case right now. This particular case right now. And everybody, phone lines are not open, so please do not call, okay? I don't know who was just trying to call just now. Hold on, let me just take a gander whilst I am conversating. Hold on, guys. Dag nabbit. Interesting. Okay. I don't know who just tried calling, but anyway, please don't call. Not right now. Okay? Anyway, we got some things we're going to be looking at. All right? We got some things that we are going to be looking at. All right? Sorry, guys. Too many alerts, too many people hitting me up all at the same time. This has been some wild stuff, okay? This case has been crazy. But as you see in the last part, the last sentence, okay? And I'm not trying to read into anything, but let's take a look at this. He says also, he's saying, they're going to be giving the latest on the raids, okay? On Diddy's raids. And yeah, it's a wrap for him, okay? NYPD hip-hop cop Derek Parker is going to be joining them live tonight, okay? I guess I'll give News Nation a shameless plug, shout out to News Nation. But moving on, he says also developments in Riley Strain investigation. His family had a second autopsy done, and they are concerned. And I know you guys are tired of hearing this sound, but I'm going to do it anyway. To me, this is a big ass deal. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, wait, why do you think, why, Pascal? Why? Tell me why that's a big deal, okay? I thought we were done. Let me tell you something. The reason why this is a big deal is because it tells me that the family is not fully satisfied by the results of the autopsy. Like I said a little bit ago, and you see in the title above or down below, wherever you're watching the show right here, it says, follow the bouncing ball. No water in lungs? That makes no sense. So you're telling me no water in lungs, no foul play? Ha! Bit weird. Was he gone? Was he unalive before his body hit the water? I know. I hate to ask those things and all that, like I said, to the family and all the people throughout the entire country and this entire whole globe that has been so touched and moved by this case. My condolences and lo siento for even asking these questions. But even the parents are asking the same doggone thing. They're doing a second autopsy. They had an independent autopsy done on their son's body. And also they are concerned. What could that mean? Now, again, that could mean nothing. Like I said in the very beginning, I'm going to say it again, though. Okay, because some people like to have selective hearing. It could be something, and it could be nothing, cabrón. Okay? So let's keep that in our brain matter. But I get it, why they were doing a second autopsy. Let's be real. This kid was walking down the street. There's been a lot of questions, right? People have been questioning a lot of things like, hey, he only had a drink and then he had 2 waters and then he walked down the street. Did he drink something that was tainted? Did something, you know what I'm saying? Did he run into somebody? Did somebody give him something while he was partying? We don't know what kind of lifestyle he has. We don't know if he's out here having a grand old time. Okay? We don't know. And Debbie, yes, I'll take care of that in a second. Sorry about that. I didn't see it. I'm in my zone. You feel me? I'm in the middle of storytelling, but I appreciate it, Debbie. I will take care of that right now. Okay? Let me just finish this thought. But even the parents are wondering what the F is going on. Now, I understand this could be nothing. This could be everything too, but let's be real. The entire family is wondering what the F is going on. The entire family has concerns. The entire family is going, damn right, you go and get that independent autopsy because this is not enough. Damn right. Don't worry, we're going to get into it, but let me slow this down. Nice and slow like. For my mods, oh yeah. Okay, hold on one second. Please and thank you. Okay, mods is done. Hopefully it's okay. Let me know. Just let me know if you need it to be slower, okay? But nonetheless, this could be nothing. This could be everything. We don't know. So let's get into this, okay? Let's look at Nick Barris's statements or his post. And then we got a video that we're going to look at as well, okay? But to me, do you remember the Kylie story? Now, I think that water was found in her lungs, right? If I'm correct. Remember Kylie? I mean, that one turned into an absolute cluster F. But remember Kylie's story? It's strange that it rhymes, right? Kylie and Riley. But do you remember Kylie's case? I'm forgetting her name. I'm so sorry. And may she rest in peace. But she was out partying in the woods with her friends. Then allegedly she got into this car and she just drove it straight into a lake, right? And of course, there was a lot of people wondering where this young girl was, only to find that she was in the actual car. Kylie Rodney. Thank you. Kylie Rodney. Thank you guys for the win from downtown. Kylie Rodney. And of course, Adventures with Purpose. I don't like saying their names too much. But, them went out and searched, and she was found in the back of the car. And, of course, all of us lost our minds going, what the? You know what I mean? It was literally, it was all this. Like, we all lost our minds. Remember that? For those of y'all who are veterans in the true crime realm, okay? Because I know some of you guys just dabble. You might be true crime light, okay? But we all looked at that and we're like, what? You know what I mean? She's in the back of the car. What does this all mean, right? And of course, we found out that it is a good possibility that her body could have floated to the back of the car. That it wasn't like she was in the back of the car, no foul play, blah, blah, blah. I remember so many people were looking into things like maybe there was a pregnancy test in the back and all that stuff. It got crazy. It got absolutely crazy. There was a lot of casualties as far as in the wake of this due to other creators' careers in all that and the sort, because it got really crazy. Okay. And some theories were knuckin' futs, to be completely honest. But she had water in her lungs. So it tells me that she entered the water still alive. So when they say that there is no water in the lungs, that usually suggests some sort of foul play, potentially suggests foul play. I mean, let's be real. It's a little bit more often that it's going to be leaning towards foul play if there's no water in the lungs. You feel me? Because it is rare. There are rare occasions, allegedly from this doctor, okay, that was interviewed by Nick Barris. He basically says that it's a rarity. It's rare that someone would succumb to water and not have any water in their lungs. Okay. So this was that rare occasion? And again, I wonder, did they actually dive in? No pun intended. I didn't mean it like that. But did they really look into this case and really investigate this? Because it seems to me autopsy was done very quickly. They said, no water in the lungs, moving on. And nothing else. No further investigations into anything. Not a damn thing, guys. That's weird to me, y'all. That's weird. I'm gonna be real. This screams like, if you guys don't know about Kendrick Johnson, that young man from Georgia found rolled up in a wrestling mat. He was found upside down. Shoes were placed on top of him. Now, if you don't know about that story, y'all need to look into that. Pretty crazy. But he was found rolled up. There was an autopsy done. They didn't say anything. They just basically said, "Oh yeah, they had their own autopsy that said one story that didn't make any sense, did not math at all to what happened to this young man." To the point where the family had to do everything they could to do their own independent autopsy to find out what actually happened to their son. Like I said, I'm used to hearing these kind of stories in a different realm in a different tier, I guess, of true crime. Not so much on this. And I'm wondering why they're not doing everything they can to see what the F is going on. Even if it isn't foul play, even if it is a rarity, why are they not looking into the things that were said and some of the pieces of information and possible clues that were said surrounding the last few moments that he was seen alive, guys? Forget the shirt. Forget those eyewitness accounts. Let's push those all to the side. I'm talking about the other ones, which we will be talking about in just a minute. Like I said, this math ain't mathing, y'all. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay? It just doesn't. And see, people will sit there and say the Kendrick Johnson story. Somebody just said Kendrick Johnson was an accident. Nah, that wasn't an accident. I guarantee you wasn't an accident. And y'all need to do your due diligence. Check out the interview I had with the mom. I had that interview with her about 2 years ago, trying to get her back on the show to break it down even more because it still just doesn't make any sense. We'll talk about that on another show and another time. But like I said, multiple families are constantly doing independent autopsies, especially when they feel that the autopsy results came back a little weird. Autopsy results came back and they said lungs did not have water in them. Weird. Damn right. Damn right you conducted a second autopsy. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into this. Nick Barris. Okay. Shout out to Nick Barris. Appreciate his reporting. All right. And I'm surprised this flew under my radar, but I was very, very thankful to get this from some reliable sources and all that. Okay. And again, may this young man rest in peace. But if there's justice that needs to be served, I hope we figure that out and we get that for that young man as soon as possible. Let's get into this. What have we learned from the autopsy on Riley Strain? Which, by the way, the autopsy happened so damn fast. They found him, they brought him in, and that Sunday, allegedly, autopsy was done. Apparently, that doctor had time on his hands, brought him in, bing, bang, boom, and that was in Bob's Your Uncle. That's pretty crazy to me, but usually this stuff takes a while. But let's get into this. Same thing with the three Kansas City men that were found unalive, frozen to their demise in the backyard, right? Remember, we were all sitting there going, families were sitting there going, we need the toxicology reports. We need to see the autopsy results, all that stuff. They said it's going to take about 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 months. And then boom, goes the dynamite. All of a sudden they had a preliminary toxicology report saying, oh, it was Fenty. It was so fast. Crazy, guys. Crazy. But let's continue here, okay? The 2-year-old's body was pulled from the Cumberland River last Friday, 2 weeks after he disappeared in downtown Nashville. Important to note, the final autopsy result or report is not complete, which is good to know. It's not complete, but at the same time, families still did their own independent autopsy, okay, investigation, or examination, I'm sorry. That tells me something. But then again, it could be nothing. But I am told the preliminary autopsy so far confirms what Metro Police Chief Drake said, that there is no evidence of foul play. I spoke to Dr. Ling, Metro's chief medical examiner, tonight. He did not perform the autopsy. I think that's important to hear too. He did not perform the autopsy. But he said his staff would give the body a full examination looking for signs of trauma. It is not clear if the exam is complete. He also said the final autopsy report will not be complete for a couple of weeks. That's important as well. Toxicology testing will be done to check blood alcohol level and if there was the presence of any other chemicals. You know, you see it. D word. I can't say that very often. So I asked Dr. Lee if water was found in Riley's lungs. He says that does not tell you anything definitive. Some have suggested that no water in lungs would mean Riley was unalive before he went into the water. Dr. Lee said no, and that Riley could have no water in his lungs even if he succumbed to water. I got to use these code words. I asked how. He told me when a person struggles to breathe underwater, they can experience a reflex called laryngeal spasm. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. The spasm shuts off your airway, meaning you can no longer breathe. When this happens and no water goes into your lungs, that's technically dry drowning. Bottom line, at this point, still no evidence of foul play, though that could change depending on full autopsy results. But as things stand now, there is no criminal investigation. Again, thoughts and prayers to Strain family. Heartbreaking. More to come. Now, what I think is very interesting, okay, that this is not something that happens all the time, but this doctor says that it can happen. All right. There are reports being said, and from a reliable source as well, a very reliable source. No water was in his lungs. None. None whatsoever. Okay. So I get it. There could have been some sort of spasm, laryngeal spasm that shut off his airway. Hence, he could no longer breathe. And then of course, he meets his demise, right? He passes away. Sure. But how often does something like that happen? Like I said, I'm curious. How often does something like that actually happen? Is it a rare occasion? From what I'm understanding, it's a rare occasion. But they're saying it does happen. So you're saying this rarity, this moment, it could have happened. Interesting. Now, again, like I said, it could mean nothing, but it could mean everything too. I don't know, guys. Now, from this same reliable source, they said that in his autopsy, through his examination, they found that there were no pokes, no no cuts, no bruises, etc. No sign of any type of blunt force trauma. But yet there's no water in the lungs. One other thing I do want to point out here too, okay? One other thing I want to point out, just really, really quick, is the other things that were being said by other eyewitnesses. Now, they could be out here talking crazy. They could be out here and may have seen something that was wrong, or could have been another altercation or another commotion with another person. But there's allegedly reports saying that there has been some sort of interaction with Riley, with someone within the homeless community. And yet that information and that stuff is still not being looked into. I find that a little bit odd. Like I said, it could be nothing, could be everything, could be a person mistakenly thinking that it's Riley and it's somebody else. There are plenty of other tall individuals out there in Nashville. There are plenty of individuals wearing that same shirt, possibly, out there in Nashville on that same night. But from my source, they're saying that the police aren't even batting an eye on those little pieces of information. Those little pieces could be big. And of course, this is the reason why I feel that the family may be concerned, because they don't think that they're looking under every single rock, that they're making sure every T is crossed and every lowercase I is dotted and lowercase J's. That they just said, we found him, it's a wrap. Deuces. That doesn't make sense, guys. It seems a bit odd. Let us continue. Like I said, I'm just going to share this with you guys one more again. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. But like I said, it goes back to this. Also, developments in his investigation. His family had a second autopsy done, and they are concerned. Of course, again, it could be nothing, but why aren't they looking into it anyway? Sure, it's frustrating to walk down a certain path and find out that it has nothing to do. There's no connection to his passing. There's no connection to his disappearance. I get that stuff, but at least look down that alleyway, look down that path. It could lead you to something more. There really could have been a crime. Also, the other thing too, same source said they're not even looking at the stuff that's gone down the way. That same footage that we looked at. Remember, somebody asked, could they have been, those two, could they be carrying a couch? No, there was no couch. It looks weird. We saw the footage. It's right beyond the second bridge. You see a bunch of people on scooters. You see a guy in a white shirt, or maybe shirtless. We don't know. walking down a ways. There's another guy there. A phone lights up. They keep on walking. Then all of a sudden, minutes later, a couple people start walking by, and it looks like they're carrying somebody or helping somebody walk. That could be nothing. Again, that could be nothing. But they're not even looking into that stuff as well. That is odd to me, guys. That is very, very odd. Now, before we get into everything, before we go, I want to get some of these super chats before they just, disappear really quick. Reality, thank you so much for the 10. I really do appreciate it. No water in his lungs. I've been saying this. How did he get into the water? If he's 6'7", where you were, / unless he went for a swim, but no water in lungs. Come on. Exactly. Reality. It's weird. It is weird. Now, again, there could be foul play, but then it could be nothing. He may have had that rare thing that happened. He could have had a laryngeal, hopefully I'm saying that right, laryngeal spasm, where his airway just closed up on him. Maybe due to shock on how cold the water was, maybe shock on how he just didn't realize that he was in this water. That could be it too, but it seems weird though. Don't it though? It seems a little weird. It just does, okay? It just does. Carbonize, thank you so much for becoming a member. And just like Carbonize, please become a member. Hit that join button down below. All right. I really do appreciate all the love, the support, and the super chats. It definitely keeps these purple lights on. So I appreciate the support. Seriously. And I see a gang of y'all in here. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Let's get it to 2K. I think we could do it this time. Okay. I know this is a short show or a shorter show, but please, let's get it to 2K. I would love to see it on YouTube to 2K. If you're watching on Twitter or X, please hit that like button down below. Please don't forget to follow me over there. Okay. Follow me on my social medias. That'll be greatly appreciated. Okay. Candy, thank you so much for the 2. Riley Rodney. Oh, you mean Kylie. Kylie Rodney had no water in her lungs. She didn't have water in her lungs. Oh, thank you so much. If that's correct, my bad. I apologize. It's been so long since I covered that case. And that's also interesting as well. And I know that's one of the reasons why everybody out here and their mama was thinking that there was some sort of foul play. And don't worry, we're going to be looking at this news clip from Nick Barris as well. So stay tuned. I'm just getting through these super chats really quick. Carbonize, thank you so much for I'm going to round it up because I'm that kind of guy. 3 Canadian, I appreciate it. The math ain't mathin'. The math ain't mathin'. Smash that like. Thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Yes, the math ain't mathin'. Okay, I got a new one now. The timeline ain't timelining to me. It just isn't. And I think it's weird because from this source, they're saying that they went through this autopsy lickety-split, like super, super fast. They found him and they conducted at least the preliminary autopsy. They just went right out the way and they're like, okay, that's what it is. Took off their, surgical gloves or whatever, threw them in the trash and said, we're done. Turned off the lights and kept moving. And you got family out here that are still wanting to know what really happened. What is the truth here? If that is the truth. And what could have possibly happened to him? Because it seems like they don't feel that the police are being completely thorough. Not that they're doing some sort of cover up. Okay. But they're not being thorough enough. And I get that. I feel that. Okay. Lucci, thank you so much for the 140 ZAR. I really do appreciate the support. Thank you so, so very much. Okay. So, very interesting. Okay. Very, very interesting. Nonetheless. But I want to play this because, like I said, I like to stay on the information that is out here. And like I said, this could be nothing. This could be something. But when you got the family concerned, it does say something. And I will say this too, okay? Let's just put this in consideration for just 2 seconds, okay? Because I get it. If, police could have, and we got to play the other side of the fence really quick. I try to straddle the fence. It's tough sometimes. But we got to look at the other side of the fence here, too. There's a good possibility that police did exactly what they needed to do. This autopsy is exactly what it is. Water was not found in the lungs. There's no sign of foul play, and it is what it is. He may have tripped on that cobblestone rocks that were laid right in front of those railings, and he could have fallen over, literally. There was a homeless individual during the search. While they were out there searching, someone fell into the river from the embankment in the same area that Riley was last seen. So there's a strong possibility that something could have happened, okay, where he just made a tragic mistake. We have to remember that. We have to remember that. And I get a grieving family really wanting to know everything. And you also got to remember, this is the same family that went forward. They were on News Nation. They spoke to the entire world and said, hey, 5-0 has not been very upfront and very candid, very open with us, transparent. We're at certain places before they even they even are there. We're catching wind on developments of clues and information. Police are not hearing anything. Seems like they're dragging their feet. They had individuals that were doing cold. They're part of the cold case department, which is weird to me. Okay. Now I know to the next person it may be nothing, but that's a little bit weird. Their son's search became the second fiddle to this whole thing, to their whole operation. That seems weird. Then all of a sudden, autopsy's done, or he's found. Autopsy's like done, lickety split, and then they're like, "That's it," and they keep it moving. Wouldn't you, as a parent, want to know everything? Wouldn't you want to see everything, the nuts and bolts of the entire investigation? Because it's still a mystery to this family. It's still a mystery to this family. And that, in my personal opinion, is no bueno. It's not enough. I got another. Okay, I'm gonna say this because I got another theory, and I've had conversations with other people that live in Nashville as well. Had some very, very candid conversations with people about this, and they talked about and again, with what's going on in Nashville and the surge of the homeless community and all that, it's a big deal. Okay, and at the same time, this is no dig at the homeless community. But at the same time, there's been a lot of stuff going on in Nashville that has been a problem. There's been a surge of crimes that could be something that has to do with the homeless community. And it also could have nothing to do with that. It could just be people out here just wanting to be a pain in the ass in the city. Okay. But there's been a lot of issues going on. Are they trying to move on and wrap this up quickly because they're worried about tourists? They're worried about that income, that money coming into the city? I know, maybe I'm talking crazy. I may be talking crazy. But I understand that city makes money. People come in from all over the freaking world, y'all, to just see where country music is made. Like I said, it's Disneyland for country music. So what are the chances? Those bars, all those things that are going on right there on Broadway and the Sort. Do you think that they want to get people scared? Oh, I ain't going down to Nashville. Look what happened to Riley. Let's move this on because we need our tourist money. You know what I'm saying? Come to Nashville. Exploit our culture. Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy our overpriced drinks. Enjoy the ambiance. But we don't need to talk about this Riley stuff. Am I crazy for saying that? Am I crazy for thinking that? Because that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. You know? We don't talk about Riley, no, no. You know what I'm saying? Just seems a little bit sketch, in my personal opinion. And I think the family feels the exact same way. Right? Anyway, let's get into this video. Let's get into this. And hey, if you feel what I'm saying, let me just say that. If you feel what I'm saying, put in some purple heart emojis in the chat real quick for me. We're going to go into this video. We're going to take a look at what Nick Barris reported. We got some things to look at. But like I said, seems a bit odd. We print money out here on these streets. We don't need people scared. People are about to do spring break. They're about to do whatever. They're about to plan their summer breaks. They want to go out to Nashville. They want to see their favorite artists, blah, blah, blah. So we got to just keep it down. Let's not talk about Riley. Just go over there. Go over there in the corner. We found him, okay? Actually, we didn't find him. But he was found. Now, shut up. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And I'm saying this, the only reason why I'm saying this is on behalf of the family, because I feel like that's unjust. And I think that's messed up. I do. Hold on, I got a comment here. Let me grab this really quick. Kitty on Facebook, thank you so much. Riley's family says that he has never acted like that before. They had never seen him in that condition, that bad, like he was that the night March 8th when they kicked him out of the bar. They made him leave out of Luke Bryan's bar, which we already know. His father, I'm not sure if he was a stepdad, but he said that Riley went to 2 bars before, which we already know. Okay. And let's see, last in Nashville. Okay, then they need to investigate more about the other bar. It was called Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places. Yeah, and I think that he also went to, I know your comment got cut off, but I think he also went to a Miranda Lambert bar as well, if I'm correct. Maybe I got the wrong country singer, wrong female country singer, but yeah, another one as well. But like I said, it is weird. So I think that's the reason why. Yeah, remember, there's a lot of bad press that Nashville's getting right now because of the tainted drinks that people are now stepping forward. Ex-bartenders, ex-employees, people that actually live in Nashville that are all basically saying, yeah, there's a big problem with chemicals being put into people's drinks. And that's a big problem. Of course, the city, 5-0, they don't want people to think those things when they go and come down to vacay and have a great time, go back home, hopefully with a story to tell. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. They just want you to come in and consume. Forget all the roofing stuff. Forget all the tainted drinks. That doesn't happen here. This is the greatest place on earth. And you get to hear great music. So come on down. Enjoy your time. Forget about Riley. Come on. It just seems weird. Seems a bit weird, guys. Okay? But then again, it could be nothing. I'm not trying to be like some conspiracy theorist. I'm just asking the questions that I think a lot of us are thinking in our heads. Okay? Let's get into this. Video, shall we? Let's take a look.
Tonight, in the death of Riley Strain, the story of his disappearance captured the attention of people all across this country. This morning, Metro Police released the 911 call from the barge worker who found the 22-year-old's body in the Cumberland River. Many questions are still unanswered. The cause of the young man's death is still under investigation. Nick Barris has more details.
Riley Strain's body was found in the Cumberland River, and the assumption is that he drowned, but we won't know for certain until the autopsy is completed here at the medical examiner's office. The autopsy, of course, was only made possible after a river worker spotted the body in the Cumberland 2 weeks after Strain disappeared in downtown Nashville.
Remember, I reported it live, okay? I even said live from Las Vegas. I don't even know. I didn't have any sleep. Okay, guys. So just be nice to me. But still, because I drove overnight to get there. Okay. But even I said, live from Nashville, that the reports were saying that it was not Cajun Navy, was not EquiSearch, wasn't 5-0, Nashville 5-0. It was one of the employees from that actual place that found Riley's remains. That's big. And yes, Melanie, autopsy is not over yet, for sure. It's not. It's not. But the fact that the family's doing a second one says something to me too. And the fact that they're concerned says something to me too. And the fact that my source said that they're concerned as well too. And they think that that this whole how things have been since he was found has been really messed up says something to me as well. Let's continue. Let's just go back over here.
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
This was about 8 miles downriver from where Strain was last seen alive.
It's definitely got a person, hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. It's face down in the water. I actually had to move a log off of the head to confirm it was a body.
So how and why did
Lord.
Strain end up in the river? The preliminary autopsy report confirms what Metro Police Chief John Drake said, that there appears to be no evidence of foul play, and it looks to be a horrible accident. We don't yet know if water was found in Strain's lungs. Some suggest if none is found, that Strain was dead before he went into the river. But the medical examiner tells me that is not definitive. A person struggling to breathe underwater can have a throat spasm that shuts off your airway. When that happens, no water goes into your lungs, and it's known as dry drowning.
Let him continue.
But that is only part of the medical examiner's investigation. They will also be testing Strain's blood. Security video did show Strain stumbling the night he disappeared. Now, Metro Police have viewed videos from bars Strain visited and say there appears to be no evidence he was drugged, but toxicology testing will be done to check his blood alcohol level and to see if there were any other drugs present.
And they should do that. Okay? They should. And I hope that I mean, let's be real. This could be nothing. Excuse me. This could be nothing. This could literally be nothing. All right? He could literally have had an accident and that's it. But at the same time, though, when you hear from, and we'll see, I guess, when this interview with Brian Enton is done, I'm assuming he's either going to report something on the show. I mean, he's clearly going to report something, but I'm wondering if the family, the parents or something like that are going to be on live talking about this, because no matter what, it is very odd that the information that has been out here now is saying that no water has been found in his lungs, and yet they don't see any foul play and they're just going to keep it moving. The family does not feel that way. They just don't. And like I said, okay, let me just say this. I'm not trying to hold on to this in hopes that we can just drag this thing out, okay? But I'm not trying to do that. For me, I just find it strange, those pieces of information. Sure, he could have had a throat spasm. He could have had a throat spasm, but it just seems a bit odd that they see no water in the lungs and they go, yep, throat spasm. It happens. Bye. Just seems weird. That's all. And I just wish that the family, if the family was stepping forward and saying, okay, we got these results. We found out, we want to thank everybody, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Then my reaction would be different. But if the family doesn't feel fully satisfied with the autopsy results, why would they do another one?
So for now, no clear evidence of foul play in Strain's death, though that could potentially change depending on the results of the final autopsy. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Like I said, I mean, great reporting by Nick Barris. He's been very, very good, or very, very on point with this, and also with Sebastian Rogers' case. That is something that I'm circling back into as well. I know that there's other cases as well. We are going to be talking about a gang of these other stories, these other cases as well, but still seems a bit odd. Family would have come out with some sort of statement saying something about the test, about the autopsy results, and saying, I want to say a big thank you to everybody and all their help, blah, blah, blah. They would have put out a statement like that, y'all. They would have. But the family is, quote unquote, concerned. I even heard it from my source, and that is a strong source. This is not just a source that is just being somebody on the side of the street that saw something, okay? No eyewitness accounts. This is a very, very solid source. And I'm telling you guys right now, family is not happy. And they're side-eyeing this whole situation because they just feel that the treatment of this case was extremely lackluster, for lack of a better term. And them actually going and actually getting a second opinion says a lot to me too. Like I said, this is stuff that I hear on, when we covered all these other types of cases, okay? Things that have covered police brutality to etc., to mysterious passings that we have covered, like the Kendrick Johnson. Just seems a bit odd that they're doing the same thing. That they're like, nah, I'm not fully content with the results, so we're doing another one because I don't believe all that. No, I don't believe all that. I don't. And I don't blame the family. There was already breadcrumbs. There was already a history of, from what they said, according to the family, already having a history of a strange relationship with 5-0 to begin with. And I'm still wondering why that treatment was happening during this particular thing. The whole world was at the edge of their seats, fully invested and consumed by Riley Strain's disappearance. You'd think that local law enforcement would be extremely focused, put on their best shiny tap shoes, and show us how they perform out here in these streets. And even so, I figured after them finding Riley, I said, okay, this chapter is done. We are not done with the full story. We are just here at the end of this chapter, finding him. I figured they would have been carrying the rest of the story in such a fashion that it would redeem their performance during the last chapter that was just closed. The most crucial chapter, finding Riley. But now we're in this chapter, and we're still getting the same results in performance. That seems a bit odd to me. Again, like I said in the beginning, this could be nothing, but it also could be something. They had a second autopsy performed. No water was found in his lungs, yet they still are saying no foul play. It happens, but it doesn't happen often. So I leave that up to you guys on what you think about all that. Actually, you know what? Okay. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Okay. I'm going to keep this very, very brief, very, very short and sweet. Let me just say that real quick. Some fair warning. Be polite. Keep it short and sweet. If you're an ass, I hang up on that ass. I don't have time. Just like none of the family and all the listeners right now have time for it either. So phone lines are open. I just put it in the chat. Okay. Go ahead. Give a call. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. Hopefully it is all good here. So we'll do a little bit of a speak on it. But while everyone's figuring things out, trying to get their phones to work and all that stuff, let's get into this really quick. Thank you so much, RB. Welcome to the family. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so, so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Amanda, thank you so much for the 2. How cold was the water? Could it be hypothermia? You know, I'm wondering that as well. Because, I mean, it could have been cold. It really could have been cold. Real talk. B12, thank you so much for the 2. Also, no pants, boots, or wallet on him per Enton. Wait a second. What? Wait, what? B12, where did you find that information about no pants and boots or wallet? Huh? Where did you see that? Because that's new to me. What? Why wouldn't he have no pants on? Hold up. We gonna get into it. Hold on. I'm keeping that up, or I'm gonna keep it here. Okay. I'm gonna return to that because we got a call. Okay. Oh, I lost you. Hold on. We got another one. Hey, you on the mic? Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Krista. Real too, Krista Marie.
Hi, Krista. How you doing? Thank you so much for. Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for calling in. Sorry, it took me a minute to process. Okay, go ahead. Say what you need to say. Speak on it. Go ahead.
Listen, come on. How to get in the water? Listen, if he tripped, okay, he'd still be breathing when he hit the water, right? I really believe that video we saw, I was the first to say it's nothing. I feel like he just fell over some railing or something, right?
Right.
But there's no water in his lungs. How did he stop breathing? I think that the video that we saw, that couch carrying weird situation, now I think they walked past him. They saw he was an easy target. They hit him, grabbed him. Oh, he's our drunk friend. You know, we're carrying our drunk friend.
Yeah.
They maybe beat him, tried to rob him. He stopped breathing. They're like, oh, shit. Throw him in the water, throw his ID somewhere. Because, listen, the cops screwed that up from day one. Think about it now. All the evidence they could have found or something, it just doesn't make sense. How did he get in the water?
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to react to you. I'm listening to you, but I was reading what B12 just said and something that was being reported by Brian Enton allegedly. I mean, that was live. So I don't know if it's up on YouTube yet. And that's something I'm going to have to watch and keep an eye out for in a little bit. But really, really quick. Yes. How did he get into the water? That is the main burning question that I think that all of us are wanting to know.
And how did he stop breathing? And if he was if he got in the water, he would still be breathing if it was an accident, right?
Right.
He didn't just.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He would have had to have all right. So even if he hit his head,
right,
he would still be breathing, right? Because what if he hit the ground and he wasn't breathing? Did he slide into the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just not making sense to me. And fine, if he fell in, he fell in. Like I showed you guys in that video. And I'm so thankful for being able to be down there, like boots on the ground, just seeing it, because seeing it said something to me, and it painted something different for me. But yeah, there is a weird, strange possibility. But yeah, there is a strange possibility that he may have tripped over the cobblestone, fell right over that thing. He is taller than me. But let me tell you something. He is taller than me. Okay. I'm 6'4". He is 6'6", 6'7", whatever. He's tall. Okay. My hips were over. Like I even showed it to you guys. I'm like, the railing is below my hips. Okay. So if he's a few inches taller than me, if he was inebriated and he's having a hard time balancing, and maybe he needed to go over there and puke, maybe he needed to go over there and take a leak. You never know. Maybe he ran over there, or stumbled over there, tripped and fell over. There is a possibility of that. But still the fact that he went into the water and there's no water in his lungs, what the hell is that all about? That seems a bit odd.
If he fell into the water, he'd be breathing it in and drowned, right? We would say, okay, he passed out and then he drowned, right? Like he just got taken away by the current. But come on, like
absolutely.
Even if you fell into the water, you'd be breathing in that. I'm sorry. I feel like for the family, I hate to say, but I was the first to say, what's the motive? Why would these people just do this to him? But now, and first of all, there's no foul play. They say that right away. How do you tell 10 days later?
Yeah.
You really have to do an autopsy. I just feel so bad for them.
And the fact that they have to do a second autopsy says a lot too. Like it does break my heart that any parent has to do that they feel like they're not fully sufficed. It's not, it's not satisfying enough. I know that sounds really jacked up, but that they don't feel like content with the autopsy that was performed immediately after he was found. Just so you know, like I said, he was found. And then immediately they did an autopsy. And I'm sure there's still, autopsy results take time, but preliminary autopsy results came back saying none in his lungs. What the F? Okay. Wow. That seems a bit weird and strange in my personal opinion. But Krista, thank you so much for calling in. I got to hop on to these other calls. Okay. You stay blessed. All right.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let me get this. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm calling from Chicago.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you, Pascal?
I'm good.
I wanted to say.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know if you have the. Hold on, real quick. If you have the show in the background, do you mind just muting it really quick?
I did mute it.
Okay, cool. Okay, what's on your mind? Speak on it.
Okay, all right. So first of all, if this guy has no pants, no shirt, but I heard that when the guy saw him, he said a white top, cowboy boots. You remember when the guy called in the 911?
Yeah.
He said that he had a white shirt on. So I don't know about this report by Ensign.
Hold on.
Or what this guy is saying.
Hold on.
Right? You remember that?
From this video that we just played a second ago, right?
Yeah, the 911 call from the worker who found the body.
Hold on, let's play one. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let's play that 911 call for 2 seconds, okay? Hopefully you can hear this too.
Found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
This was about 8 miles downriver from where Strain was last seen alive.
Definitely got a person here, black shirt, kind of like a.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Can you mute that in the background? It also says here, this is from the 911 call. It says it's definitely, a person here, black shirt, got a white, muddy looking on the front. Okay. And then it says his face is down in the water. So it's the shirt. Yeah. It sounds like it's the shirt itself for sure. Okay.
Okay.
But continue. What are your thoughts?
Okay. All right. So now, if the guy has no pants on or no boots, but he's got the shirt on, he was definitely robbed. All right. There's all the time you see people getting robbed and they have you take off your shoes. And then you got homeless people down there. They could steal the clothes. Not saying that happened. I'm just giving you speculation.
Right.
Okay. Number two. Now here's one scenario. If a person falls down an embankment, breaks their neck, your spinal cord can be severed. You can stop breathing. That is the only way, I think, unless another doctor or medical field person can correct me, but that's, the one of the reasons that I could think the one way is the way he would not breathe and get water into his lungs. One.
Right.
Number two, when you have a mammalian, it's called mammalian dive reflex, is when your laryngeal, not laryngitis, but your laryngeal laryngeal tube or your windpipe.
Your throat. Gotcha.
Your throat, your airway, because you have, when your airway, you have one that goes, when you go to eat, you have an opening for your stomach and you have an opening for your lungs to breathe.
Right.
Now, underneath those cords, your laryngeal, your windpipe will close up, all right? But when the body relaxes, that'll open up. Not all people die from laryngeal spasms. I have asthma and it has happened. Now, however, and you come to because your body relaxes, that spasm opens up. So he would get water into his belly being found because when you breathe in, now you're, what I'm saying is you're not breathing. You're not breathing water, right?
Uh-huh.
So he broke his neck. He was robbed. Okay, now wait. Pushed down, broke his neck. There's so many things that could have happened. I'm looking at you on the tube and I'm thinking, I'm sorry. Broke his neck. He could have been pushed. That's why his card flew out. Could have been robbed.
Right.
Definitely, he entered the water supposedly not breathing. It could happen from a breaking his neck. Look at if he was walking down that street, you see how he was walking his head?
Yeah.
Then he clocks his head again.
No.
He could have broke his neck. Now, either being pushed.
Right.
That scene, when they found that card, they should have blocked all that off. They have been so stupid in this whole investigation, and I'm telling you 100% they don't want this in their town of Smashville.
Now, the one question I have for you, though, let me ask you this, though, really quick, because you said something about his neck, his neck being broken. Do we have any reports of his neck being broken? Because that's kind of news to me.
Well, look at the no, not report wise. I don't believe so.
Okay, so
but
this is just theory. Again, this is just theory.
Well, right.
Okay.
Right. So you see divers that break their neck when they dive into something
That's
shallow
true.
pool. You break your neck and you cannot breathe.
That's very true.
Your central nervous system is your spine and your brain.
Very true.
And that controls your breathing, your temperature, all of it.
Right.
Or your automatic nervous system. That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, what I'll say though, okay, those theories are good theories. Okay, that you are making some good points. He is tall. If he did double over on, over this railing, there is a good possibility that something happened, right? That maybe he fell, he went, over the railing, may have landed on his head, and then some sort of like breakage of some sort could have happened, and then he could have gone down into the river unalive. That's a possibility for sure. But it is odd that his pants and his boots were gone. One thing that I will say before we jump into that and we start going all like crazy into like, tinfoil hats and thinking aliens abducted him or whatever, before we get into that crazy stuff, we have to put in consideration that is some strong water that he fell into. There's a good possibility. We don't know how tight his pants are belted onto his body. We don't know that. There's a good possibility that water may have stripped those pants off of him. Same thing with the boots. Maybe the force of the water took his pants and his boots. He may have been stuck, or I hate to put this. Hold on, real quick. I hate to put this image in all y'all's heads, but I have to do it really quick. There's a possibility. There's a possibility. This is the image I'm talking about. There's a possibility that if he was, hold on, Cheryl, hold on. Let me just say this piece. There is a possibility that his remains could have gotten caught on something like a log or something of some sort, facing the current of the water, where his pants and his boots may have been stripped off for a second. You never know. There's a possibility of that. Now, Cheryl, what were you going to say?
Sure. Oh, God, I kind of forgot.
Sorry, I just wanted to get that point out before we get into crazy town and, go ahead.
Wait, did anybody look at recent drone footage? Oh, and one more thing. I want you to remember on that drone footage. But do you remember when that female was found down the river? Okay.
Yeah.
What was my point of that? Oh, the female down the river anything hurt on her, okay, because of that Nashville not wanting to draw attention to itself. Is there foul play around there? People knocking people down in the river, so on and so forth. But the drone footage, I remember a very good drone footage from a whatever it was, but he went down the river.
Right.
And he went down, I'm not sure, 8 miles. Can't remember his name, but however, and you didn't see him. But yet he was next to a barge. So weird.
Right.
It's so weird. I want to know where she was found, and I want to know.
I'd like to know
with
that.
all that drone footage out there, yeah.
I'd like to know that as well. Where the other people were found, because there was 2 people that were found while they were looking for Riley. There was a man and a woman that were found in 2 different places, which is very, very interesting as well.
On?
But
what is going on?
Cheryl, I appreciate you calling. I have to hop off.
Okay, go ahead.
But thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, hi, Pascal. Yeah, my name is David, and I was thinking, I usually watch your show ever since Violent. And there's a very good question about all of this, and that is that they stated, or the police stated, that this gentleman would probably surface within, according to his weight, within, 14 days? I don't recall exactly now.
Right.
And he turns up, and that is a sign of somebody who actually drowned, right?
Yeah. Right? Because
so
they
if he
don't
drowned,
they, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
If he drowned, then how come he does not have water in his lungs?
You know what? That's a damn good point, bro. Your name one more time. I'm so sorry. What's your name again?
David.
David. Thank you, David. First off, that's a damn good point. But that's so weird, right? Because if there wasn't anything in his lung, how would that be possible? Right? Because they say if someone was to succumb to water, right, that it takes about 7 to 8 days for, depending on their body mass, etc., for their body to resurface to the water, up to the surface of the water, right? That's allegedly what I hear through the grapevine. So I'm wondering if he actually did succumb to water, then why aren't there anything in his lung? Then why would he go
in his lung?
See what I'm saying? He would go down then if there was, or he'd just be floating this entire time. We'd be able to see him.
That's right.
If there was nothing in his lungs, right?
It is very questionable what the police chief and among all of them have talked about. It doesn't make any sense in my opinion, but here we are, and I'm glad the family are asking for a second autopsy on this kid. Yeah, I agree with you 110% because, like I said, this math ain't mathin', bro. This math ain't mathin', bro. This is insane. Yep.
But David, damn good point. And maybe hopefully I'm going to see if I can reach out to somebody that knows this kind of stuff. You know, maybe an expert of some sort, and maybe bring them onto the show so we can break this down.
That would be great. That would be great.
So curious.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't, man. It really doesn't. But thank you so very much for calling in. Sir. Talk to you soon, brother.
Thank you for calling.
All right.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
You too, brother. Peace.
Okay.
Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Heather, I'm calling from Florida.
Hi, Heather. How you doing? What's on your mind?
Hi.
Speak on it.
Well, I watched Brian Ensign live tonight at 5, and he confirmed Chris, the friend of Riley's parents, the one that was with them the whole time in Nashville, confirmed that he had no boots, no pants, and he was only found in his shirt. So it just, I definitely think there was foul play. That, along with the autopsy results that aren't making sense, like, who would take his clothes? You know, they would. I've worn cowboy boots before. Like, they are tight fitting. There's no way the cowboy boots just happen to come off in the water. So
that is so.
Something is not right, and I just hope that they get to the bottom of it.
Hamburger, indeed. Yeah, I agree. I hope so too, because that doesn't make any bloody sense. Real quick, just stay with me, so I don't, if you don't mind. I just need to pull up this because S Dubs just put something up. It says drowning without aspiration of liquid generally attributed to demise of asphyxia while submerged and in like throat spasms has been reported to occur approximately 10% to 15% of drowning victims. Interesting.
Yeah, and
So-
I could see if like that he was that small percent, then where does clothes go and where does boots go? It's just something's not adding up.
It is odd, but I will say that the force of that water in that river, and depending on how loose his clothes actually were on him, like, you know, maybe he doesn't tighten his belt very tight. You see what I'm saying? All those kinds of things,
Yeah.
the force of the water, and you contribute all that into what's going on with I hate to say this, but a limp body. There's a possibility of things being stripped off by the water itself. But still, they should be looking into this. Law enforcement and the like should be looking into this and asking all the questions that should be asked. They need to do their due diligence.
Hopefully enough people,
period.
and hopefully enough people raise concern that they do take that into consideration and look into it further. But I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens.
Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. You know, this is very wild. Okay. Long story short, very, very wild information. But I still, the call things are over. Okay. But then, also, somebody else has said something here too. They said, I guess police say when pings from phone would have been heard. 911 call said last seen by police station and river at 11 p.m. They would have, and this is from a text message. They would have never known that. They would have never known that when 911 call was made. Interesting. So I don't know. It's this whole thing is very odd to me. Okay. It is very odd, but at the same time, it doesn't automatically mean foul play. There are questions that need to be asked. There are things that we need to look into or not us, but law enforcement need to look into. And I can see why family are sitting here going, wait a second, his pants and his boots though? His pants and his boots for real? And you're saying no foul play. So he was found pantless. And you're saying that's just normal? If the family is sitting there going, that is not making me feel good, that is not answering the questions that I have, then clearly in this, that means foul play could have been there. And there needs to be something done about it. They need to look into this stuff. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see if I can do something. Hold on. Hold on one second. Trying to see if I can make something happen. Let me just see if I can make something. See if I can make something happen really, really quick. Because somebody just put in a request. Maybe I can make something happen here. Okay. Because that is interesting. Okay. Now, if that is information that is being said, okay, because somebody said hearsay, please look for proof and not hearsay. If this is actually being said, okay, phone lines are down for right now. Okay, if they're saying that, hey, family is calling in, okay, oh, that's you, S Dubs. Okay, call back in. I'm sorry, S Dubs, I didn't know it was you. Call back in. Go ahead, call back in. But I am still curious about all of this. Okay. But this is not hearsay. All right. This is information that is being said by family members, by the spokesperson that is speaking out. Okay. That says a lot. Let me get this phone call real quick. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You know exactly who this is.
What's up, S Dubs? How you doing, sweetheart? Hey, one of our mods is in the house. Give her a whole bunch of purple heart emojis, okay? Show her some love. Okay, what's on your mind? Speak on it.
You're killing me. You're making me blush. All right. So the whole chat's killing me today. I'm sorry. Everybody, I love you all, but come on. No water in the lungs is okay. It doesn't mean foul play. And that river was a very swift moving river. And there was a lot of trees, bushes, and other stuff to snag his clothes off. And obviously the people saying, how did his boots fall off, have never worn a pair of cowboy boots. Those suckers will slide right off your feet like rubber irrigation boots.
Right. No doubt.
So the fact that, yes, B12, I do need more cookies. Sorry.
It's all good.
The fact that his boots came off does not surprise me. If he hit the water accidentally and was still conscious, meaning he fell down the embankment, oh crap, I gotta swim my way out of this.
Yeah.
People are trained, especially if you swam, get your shoes and your pants off, they will weigh you down.
Good.
You didn't know that
point. Hey, from downtown S Dubs, you got a good point.
Sorry, I'm too medical.
No.
Me, I'm medical.
You're good. You're good. Continue, please. Drop some more knowledge.
Well, I was a swiftwater rescue technician in the fire department. So that water was moving fast, and I looked at the temperature, and it was between 45 and like 48 degrees that week.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough that he would not have his mind past 30 seconds. Once your head gets hypothermia, and you can get hypothermia at anything less than 60 degrees, you start losing your ability to think.
True.
And he lost consciousness in that moment of panic, taking his shoes off. If he loses consciousness before he goes under, that's where you get the dry drowning.
Okay. So you think...
So your medical person here says this isn't foul play. It's a drunk person who fell. I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry, Pascal, I don't agree with you.
No.
Medical girl says no.
Okay. I think I will say this. I think it is very odd, or I think it is weird that the rare occasion of this happening actually happened in this particular case. I also do think that for the family's sake, so that they feel that every option, every possibility has been exhausted in this investigation into what actually happened to this young man, I don't blame the family wanting to do a second autopsy, wanting to feel or having that feeling of concern. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be real. You got a family that is you got a family that's grieving, that wants the full scope of everything. And I think because of how they have been treated before he was found by law enforcement, I think that they think that they're not getting exactly what they rightfully deserve in the investigation still to this day. You see what I'm saying? So I think there's already like a stigma attached to this investigation already. And they're going, oh, so you guys are just throwing up your arms and throwing up your hands and saying, oh, foul play, bye. Or no foul play by. They're like, no, I want to exhaust everything before we actually just nip this whole thing in the bud. You know what I mean? And I don't blame the family for doing that. I really don't. But I do get it. You know, the possibilities, definitely, that could be it. It could be 10 to 15%, as you said in that super chat. But there is something about it that I feel that the police, or at least the autopsies, the autopsy didn't fully, execute, I guess, in the perspective of the family.
I agree. And if this were my child, I would pull out all stops to find out what could be the cause of death besides drowning.
Right.
But he's going to have bumps. He's going to have bruises. He's going to have, I think, all sorts of things that you'll see, because there's no way you can go down a river like that without those issues.
You know what's interesting is that they, even in the 911 call, they said that the guy said he had to take a log off of his head to identify that it was actually a man and that it was actually Riley himself. So even that, I'm like, okay, he probably was banged around, not even just from the fall, but even just being in that river. God knows what he ran into. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And yeah, no. So even if he had made it a minute or 2 minutes in that water,
right,
he got back in that 2 minutes. So I'm sure that there are, and I don't know how cold water affects a demised body, because I usually only dealt with the live ones. I don't know how to word that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That was like, okay, how do I say this tactfully?
No, I understand what you're saying, though. Absolutely. And I see that. I see that side of the fence too. I do. I definitely do. I'm, like I said, I sit on this. Say it again.
If it were my child, I'd pull out all the stops to find out every bit of information that I could.
Bingo. And in a way, it's kind of like they have been dragging their feet, at least from what the accounts from the family, and they're saying 5-0 ain't doing nothing. And then suddenly 5-0 shows up during a press conference that they put together with Cajun Navy. They put it together independently, but police suddenly showed up and they're like, yeah, we're here. We don't know anything that's going on, but we're here. And I could see why the family is upset and going, hey, I'm going to exhaust every option before I let this be just what it's looking like. Let me just see every option first before I automatically say, okay, yeah, he got too drunk and he tripped, So we'll see. But exactly. I see your point, though, S-Dubs. And I appreciate you giving us that information. That's good information, no matter what. I appreciate it.
And the fact that Pascal and I are not on the same page right now, meaning he says foul play and I don't.
No, I actually don't say. No, I don't say foul play. That's the thing that I'm trying to say. Like, I have questions about it, and I'm wondering what the F is going on. But he could have fallen. He could have been too drunk and fell. I do honestly think if the family doesn't feel like they got everything they wanted from the first autopsy, that damn right they should do a second autopsy. If they feel like there's foul play, the no water in the lungs is still very odd to me, yet it still does happen on rare occasions. So yeah, we're going to sit on the fence. We're going to ask. We're going to see what's up. And this family deserves the right to know everything. But police, it seems like, from what I gather and from the vibes we're getting out here, aren't really doing everything they can to suffice this family. That I find a bit odd. And they should look into everything. Everything could be just what it is, an accident, but still exhaust every option.
I agree with you on that. I will say somebody just put in the chat something about oh shoot, I forgot. The chat was going so fast, and when I'm not watching it, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Something about his pants were already off. We don't know what he was wearing or not wearing when he fell in or went in or was pushed in. We don't know that.
True.
And then somebody mentioned the toxicology. I guess my question is, that goes along the foul play line. If someone gave him that involuntarily, let's say he was roofied, does that turn it into a police investigation?
I would think that it would, you know. I definitely think that it would. But we don't have the toxic. Go ahead.
I don't know what I'm talking about there. That's a police matter, and I don't understand that side of the coin.
Right. And that's a part as well. I agree. You know, I think that that's something that we're going to have to find out when the toxicology report does come back, because it could come back with him just having liquor in his system. That literally could really be what it is. That's it. I'm curious, though. I'm very, very curious. Again, some things are just not adding up, but that doesn't automatically mean foul play. Let me just make that abundantly clear, because I don't want people thinking that I'm out here going foul play, everybody. No. I am not saying that, but I understand why the family is doing everything they can to figure out what's going on. But S-Dubs, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. I'll be talking to you in the chat. All right.
All right. And then Pascal, one thing quickly.
Okay.
There is another young boy from Texas A&M, and his name is Caleb Harris. And I would love for him to get a session.
Yes.
And then I put something in Discord about a young lady that's missing from Arizona. Actually, they have her as California. It's right on the border of the two.
Okay.
And I would love to have her as well.
Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look into it. Yeah, Caleb, I'm already doing my research on it. This story, this information just popped off, so I wanted to give you guys this information so we can move on to the Diddy, to the other cases, Sebastian as well. We got a bunch of stuff to cover with Sebastian and all the craziness that's going on around his search. So we will be in going into Caleb and all that stuff here very soon. I appreciate you calling in, though. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back from your vacation.
Thank you. Thank you. I missed you guys too. I missed you guys as well.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, I missed you guys. No more calls. No more calls. Okay. Phone lines are down. All right. But still, yes, I missed all you guys. I appreciate all you guys and all the love and all that too. Okay. And yes, there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot of other cases that are still needing some light under the sun, and I will get to them as soon as I can. This information, though, as I told you, I was going to keep an eye on this Riley case, and I find it interesting. The family has been very adamant about trying to understand and getting down to the nitty gritty of what's gone on and what happened to their loved one, Riley. The fact that there's water or no water in the lungs, I find that weird. I do. But I do appreciate S-Dubs coming in and clarifying a few things. It's true, or those are very good points. If he was of sober mind and realized that, hey, something's up, and like I'm in this water and these boots and these pants are pulling me down, I can't swim properly. He could have kicked those things off for sure. While he's in the middle of a struggle, for sure. And then, of course, whatever happened to him clearly happened to him, and the water took his life. That could have very well have happened. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to get someone to call into the show, and it just didn't work out. Maybe a little bit later, okay? But still, nonetheless, you have this information. It's very interesting. No boots, no pants, no wallet, all that. He was pantless when he was found. But there's a lot of things you can factor into that situation. He could have fallen in, and the water could have ripped those pants and those boots off of him. That could have happened. Or like our phone call just a second ago from S-Dubs, that could have been it too. He could have stripped those things off frantically, trying to survive. That could have happened. We don't know. But it is interesting information nonetheless. And I can see why the family, and I'm going to say this again, I can see why the family is looking at this and going, that does not satisfy me that suddenly he is gone and that this investigation has just been nipped in the bud like that, like it ain't nothing. He was found pantless. What's up with that? He doesn't have his boots on. What's up with that? There's no water in his lungs, even though I know it's a rarity and it's 10 to 15% of something like that ever happening, but it still wasn't found. There's no water in his lungs. What the hell? What's going on here? What actually happened here? Why did it happen the way it did? Now, I'm not speculating that there's some serial monster running out here lurking in the streets or anything like that. Please, miss me with that nonsense, okay? But there may have been some sort of foul play in this situation, and I hope that they do whatever they need to do to figure that out. Like I said, no water in the lungs could be something, but it could be nothing at all as well. Like I said multiple times during this show. Like I said, there could be no foul play. And it could be just what it is. An accident happened. Or he walked down that street and something happened. Mind you, there's information from eyewitnesses. Remember the homeless gentleman that had heard about a commotion and all that. There has not been any investigation into that part at all when it comes to this case. That's a little bit weird. There's been no investigation on the footage that we watched beyond the second bridge with all the people and the scooters and all that stuff. Nothing has been investigated into that piece. I'm not sitting here saying that there is foul play or that there is a clue in there, but none of it's been looked into. That's weird, guys. Or you know what? Not even weird. It's just unfortunate. And I hope they look into it. Again, there could be foul play. There may not be a foul play at all. But the fact that they haven't even dragged their feet over in that general direction just to try it out, to even exhaust those options, I think is a little bit beyond to me. It's just insane. And you got family members saying, sup? They're not even looking into that. Why? It may be nothing, but at least look at it. It's weird. It's weird, guys. Let me get some of these super chats. Again, B12, thank you so much for that update. I do appreciate that, okay? And I know some people are like, where was that? That was allegedly done during Brian Enton was on Vargas's show, and I guess he was reporting that live during our show, okay, during this show. So it may be up by now. It may be not. But if it is, I will pull it up, do it as a pop-up so we can watch it together as a family, okay? Just be on the lookout for that, okay? B12, thank you so much for the information. Rachel Burton, thank you so much for being a member. I feel like he was maybe, maybe he drank something that was laced. I don't know. There's a possibility of that. But to me, him walking down that street, I'm going to be real. Him walking down that street, I think he was just extremely inebriated. I think he tied one on with his boys. He kicked it. He did some pre-gaming. He went to two other bars, okay, then went over to this other one. He was obviously very, very inebriated, and they kicked him out, and I think he was inebriated. I think if there was any foul play, the foul play happened when he walked past the police officer. That body cam footage, and he continued walking down, that's where I think foul play could have happened. Could have happened. Because I don't want everybody getting this twisted. Let me just repeat that. Could have happened. All right? Spilled Pink, thank you so much for the 5. My SIL, I don't know what SIL is. Sorry. Got caught in a current. SIL. I don't know. A sister-in-law. Maybe a sister-in-law. My sister-in-law got caught in a current and passed from dry. Okay. She didn't have any water in her lungs. We were there when it happened and couldn't get to her. That's terrible. So, Spilled, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. We're sending our condolences to you. But then again, like I said, that could be it too. That could be it. That could be. Okay, Misty, thank you so much for the 5. My spidey senses alerts with Riley It's odd that law enforcement says no foul play since he went missing despite all info has come out. It spells cover up, in my honest opinion. See, like Misty, okay, let me just say this. I don't know about all that with the cover up, but at the same time, I do think that law enforcement, if anything, is doing exactly how they were doing when he was missing. They're just dragging their feet. It's very lackluster. I think it's just the same energy. They're just dragging their feet. At least that's the vibe I get, you know? But then again, could be wrong. Soldier, thank you. Soldier Girl, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Mountain Kayaker, thank you so much for the 5. If there was no degloving. If there was no degloving, he wasn't in the water long. I don't know what that means exactly, but thank you so much for the 5. No degloving. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe that's a typo. AGC, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Michelle, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Again, thank you so much for the 5. Michelle, have some really good theories to share. How call? Yeah, we had already our phone call. I think you may have called. Okay. Or maybe you tried. I don't know. Love 7. Thank you so much for the 10. Where's the official report that says his boots and pants were off? I haven't read nor seen that reported. Additionally, the family friend stated Riley was not a swimmer. Now, one thing I want to say is this. Interesting, though. So if he was not a swimmer, let's just point this out really quick. Let's talk about it. S Dubs pointed out something really, really good. She pointed out something fantastic. If he had known about that, let's be real quick. And like I said, there may be no foul play here. Okay? Let me just say this. If he fell into the water and he's panicked, is he automatically thinking about the first thing to do at that moment? Or is he going to try to paddle or tread water for his life? Think about it for a second. If you get dunked into the water, unbeknownst to you, you have a little bit of liquor in you, you're a little inebriated. Instantly, are you thinking, oh, are you instantly thinking that? I needed to unbuckle. I need to wade. I need to float a little bit so I can unbuckle, so I can take off my pants, so I can take off my boots, whilst still trying to tread water drunk out of my mind. Just think about that for a second. Now, it could have very well been that situation, but then again, it couldn't have been. Maybe it didn't if he wasn't a swimmer. Just something to think about. Again, does not mean foul play, but it is interesting. If you're in the water, you're drunk, and you're not a swimmer, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know to unbuckle and take off pants and take off boots while still treading water in a fast-moving current in the river. Scared out your mind. Cold out your mind as well. Just something to think about. Something to think about. Like I said, we don't have the answers here, but that is something to think about. Mimi, thank you so much for the 3. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Martinique, thank you so much for the 5. Here late to the party. Gonna watch replay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi. Enjoy the replay if you're watching all the way to the end. All right. I appreciate you. Martinique, I appreciate it. Melissa, thank you so much for the 5. I put in a request for Riley's autopsy report. I'll forward it to you when it comes. Could be 10 weeks. Well, when you do get it, yes, please send it my way. Okay? Shawty, send it my way. Send it my way. Please and thank you. Okay? Because I'd like to see it as well. But nonetheless, family out here saying things. Apparently, y'all sent me an email. Let me take a look. I don't think I got it. If you sent it to me. Someone said I just sent you the Brian Enton thing. I don't have it here, but let me see if I can find it here really, really quick, and we can watch it right now real fast as a family, okay? Oh, there it is. There she blows. Let's take a look at this. This is very fascinating. But again, the possibilities are endless. And I know that aggravates a lot of us. I get it. But again, could be something, could be nothing at all. All right. But let me get this up and we're going to watch it as a family. Hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this.
University of Missouri student Riley Strain. The 22-year-old's body was recovered from the Cumberland River in Nashville last Friday, 2 weeks after he went missing during a night out with friends. Tonight, we've learned some disturbing details about how he was found. We've learned he was found without his pants, his wallet, or the cowboy boots that he was wearing the night he vanished. Surveillance video captured some of his last known steps on March 8th after he left the downtown bar where his fraternity brothers were. They were all partying together there. It was about 8 miles away from where his body was found. His disappearance mobilized an army of loved ones and strangers alike banding together to look for signs of Riley before the search came to a tragic end. A preliminary autopsy found no signs of foul play in his death, but the family is not completely satisfied tonight. They have ordered a second autopsy with even more tests that will potentially give us more insight into what happened. And joining us now, family friend Chris Dingman. Chris, thank you for coming on the show again. I understand that Riley has been returned home. His funeral will be happening on Friday. So we're obviously thinking of you all right now. And I can't imagine how difficult all of this has been. But I want to ask you about this second autopsy and some of the new information you've learned. What's new here?
The family did have a second autopsy, actually in Tennessee, following the Metro Nashville autopsy from a private individual company that does that. The original autopsy come out just like theirs did, with no obvious signs of trauma, as in weapons, guns or knives, or etc.
Right.
But they were able to do a little bit more testing on specific items. One thing that threw the family for a loop was, the coroner going on record with a news person in Nashville stating about the lack of water in his lungs. It raises more questions. I'm not a crime drama person by no means, but usually water in the lungs means that, they were alive when they went into the water. So more questions. We hope we're going to get some answers with the toxicology. I just hope that this doesn't get swept underneath the rug, because the family deserves more answers than we have.
Now, real quick, because I got to hop in here for fair use and all that stuff. And shout out to Dingman. Shout out to Brian Enton for having this interview and this information. But like I said, that's interesting. And like I said, he even said it himself. No water in the lungs, baby. And the family is just sitting there going, we just want answers. Doesn't mean that they think, ooh, foul play. But it does seem weird. And they just want answers. To me, that makes sense. It just makes sense. Now, all of this, I really do think that it's the track record and the stigma that has been attached to 5-0 that has rubbed the family the wrong way. And then as soon as they say, oh, here's the autopsy, no foul play, bye-bye, family gets mad. Understandable. Because they're saying, well, then what actually happened then? Did he really trip and fall? Or no? Family deserves some answers for sure. And the fact that it seemingly seems like that 5-0 police are just kind of like moving on to the next issues, the next crime that's being committed right now. Yeah, it's rubbing the family the wrong way, and it would definitely rub me the wrong way too. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. Let's go.
What about the boots, Chris? Tell us what you've learned in terms of what Riley was wearing and what he wasn't wearing when he was discovered.
Riley, we were told, which blew the family away. It actually went out on social media, and I screenshotted it and sent it to our war room, and was like, "Who in the world is this? Who is releasing this information?" Because at the time, certain family members didn't even know about that, which really kind of blew us away. Not sure how they got that information. Once again, one more question. But yeah, unfortunately, the only thing that was found with him, as the police stated in the report, was the watch and the shirt. Everything else was not with him when he was found.
You're hearing this from the source himself. This is not hearsay. This is not some BS. These were in the reports. This young man was pantless. He did not have his boots. He did not have his wallet. He did not have his cell phone as well, guys. No cell phone. Okay? They're saying only thing that he had on him, aside from that shirt, was his watch. Again, many possibilities could have happened before we go down that train of thinking all kinds of crazy conspiracies and we start wearing the tinfoil hat. Before we go into all that, put certain things into consideration. His body fell into that water and nature could have done the rest. Remember that. That cell phone could have been in his pants. The wallet could have been in his pants, his boots, etc. He could have all of that fallen into the water. And then maybe because of the current and how strong that current is, especially during that time, maybe he got caught on something and that stuff just stripped right off his body. Remember, everything from the bottom half would contain his cell phone, his wallet, his pants, and his boots. All those things could have been stripped from the gush and the force of water in that river. Just think about that for a second. It could also still be he could have been robbed and rolled into the damn river. That's still a possibility. But we have to put in consideration that there are other possibilities here as well. Let's continue.
And if you can describe the boots that he was wearing, because that could end up being significant.
His mother was pretty sure they were Justin's, and they were a square nose style cowboy boot, kind of a flat color. Once again, the jeans were, I think, buckle is what the jeans were. We already knew about the Michael Kors billfold. You know, there's specific things that we've been out in front of this entire time looking for in case this did come up. So we're hoping now that maybe that they will come up so we can get more answers.
So his cowboy boots were not on when he was found, and his jeans were not on, and his wallet was missing. Do you know, Chris, if he was wearing a belt?
That's a damn good question.
That I do not know, unfortunately. But in one of the pictures we went back and looked at, I'd always preach to the boys about keeping their billfold in their front pocket. Just to being in clubs, it's real easy to get pickpocketed. And the one picture where the boys are all together outside, if you look in the right front pocket, we're pretty sure that's where he had his billfold. So the billfold should have been secured in his pants. Unfortunately, we don't have those answers right now.
Maybe it could have been fully secure in his pants. But remember, his credit card or his debit card was found in the area where he disappeared, okay, where he was last seen. What are the chances of him wearing some pants that are, you know, maybe loose in the pockets area? You see what I'm saying? In fact, before we continue on, okay, let's remember this. 410. We were at 410. I just want to pull something up because I feel like we need to bring this video back up one more again because this was the last. Well, actually, let me pull up this photo. See, one thing that sucks about this is you can't really see if he's wearing a belt buckle, if he's wearing a belt. And of course, you want to see, you know, in my mind, I would want to see a belt buckle, right? That's what I'm hoping for. But these pants, though, seem to be a bit loose, a bit. But if he's wearing a belt, that's a different story. You feel me? Then that would be on his body. Unless, you know, it's all depending on how he wears his jeans or how he likes his belt, you know, how tight he wants his pants around his waist. right? Now, this is a very skinny kid, too. Let's not forget that, too. He's 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". I've heard different stories about his height. He is 160 pounds. And let me tell you something. I'm 6'4". I weigh way more than this young man. But I'm telling you right now, it is hard as hell to find pants at a retail store that even fits my body. So imagine him trying to find pants in general. He may have to, depending, if he bought retail, it could have been something that's not so to his waist size. Because you got to remember, he's 160 pounds. This is a skinny, skinny man. All right. Maybe he just had loose fitting jeans. They may be a few sizes waist-wise too big for his body. He may be wearing a belt to keep it up for the most part, keep his pants up, but maybe it's loose still. Like I said, listen, you trying to find just a 34, 34 or a 36 or 38, whatever. Shoot, a 28, man, even smaller than that. I don't know what his hip size, his waist size is, but real talk, it's hard to find long pants for tall guys. So depending on where he found these pants, do you think that this is true to size? Maybe not. Think about it for a second. He may have worn something a little loose. Possibly. But in fact, to just send it all the way home, real quick, let's look at the body cam footage real quick, and we're going to continue on with that video. Let's look at the body cam footage one more again. Just the part where we see him. Because maybe we could see how these pants look on him. You see what I'm saying? How he moves, it could be super baggy. You never know. So let's take a look. Let's exhaust every option. All right, let's take a look. I took off the sound, but take a look. I mean, they look pretty. It's like a loose boot cut, it looks like to me. That's what it looks like. One more again. It is interesting. Hold on. I'm going to try another one here real quick. We do have another angle. Don't we, though? I got to find it. Surveillance footage. Remember this? Let's take a look at this, too. Hey. Let's look at this. Look at his pants. It looks like a loose boot cut. That's what it looks like to me. Now, yeah, it looks pretty loose. But anyway, this is interesting, okay? Nonetheless, it's interesting. But let me pull up the video and let's finish that video out. Like I said, pants, boots, wallet, gone. Very interesting, okay? But that still doesn't mean foul play. But it could, though, too, and they need to do everything they can. They need to exhaust every option as soon and as best as they can. Let's watch the rest. Oops. Wrong one. Hold on. Just queuing it up. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look at the rest of this. Hit the number one again. Just let me know you guys can hear this. Let's rock and roll.
Their billfold in their front pocket. Just to being in clubs, it's real easy to get pickpocketed. And the one picture where the boys are all together outside, if you look in the right front pocket, we're pretty sure that's where he had his billfold. So the billfold should have been secured in his pants. unfortunately, we don't have those answers right now.
Last time we spoke, you mentioned that police had told the family, this was right after his body was discovered, that there were still some people that they wanted to talk to. We know there's a homeless sort of camp in that area. Have they been able to talk to those people? Have you learned any more on that front?
We have not been notified. Actually, one of the people of interest, a little bit after an hour Riley was found, I was back at that scene and just happened to see that person. And so we had a group of volunteers that kind of followed the gentleman. We called the police, let them know that we had found him because we hadn't been notified they had talked to yet, and was told by the police that, that was no longer a person of interest. They had somebody else they were interested in. But we know from the homeless people that lived there, that was the person that was supposedly up on the road when Riley fell into the bushes or whatever happened, and he yelled back down that, this was just somebody that had been drinking. It was okay. So
I'm rolling that back one more time so y'all can hear that in the nosebleed seats. One more again. I'm rolling it a little bit further back. We're going to hear that whole thing all over again. And like I said, this is coming from the family. Same thing that I just talked about let's take a look.
Not been notified. Actually, one of the people of interest, a little bit after an hour Riley was found, I was back at that scene and just happened to see that person. And so we had a group of volunteers that kind of followed the gentleman. We called the police, let them know that we had found him because we hadn't been notified they had talked to yet, and was told by the police that, that was no longer a person of interest. They had somebody else they were interested in. But
had somebody else that they're interested in. Interesting.
We know from the homeless people that lived there, that was the person that was supposedly up on the road when Riley fell into the bushes or whatever happened, and he yelled back down that, this was just somebody that had been drinking. It was okay. So
interesting. Like I said, I just said it earlier in the show. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is not foul play or not. The fact that law enforcement has not exhausted every possibility seems a bit odd. The fact that they are hearing things from other people, from a witness, an eyewitness that ran into Riley, had a conversation, and was the one that yelled down, he's just drunk, he's okay. The fact that police haven't even talked to him yet is a little bit weird, guys. Like I said, it's just weird. Doesn't mean, oh, foul play, no, Doesn't mean that. Doesn't automatically mean that. But at the same time, why aren't police looking into that? Just saying. Let's continue, though. Let us continue, though.
Once again, a little more confusion. I hope that the ball hasn't been dropped on this. There's numerous people in the videos at the detention center that coincide with the police officer's body cam and a timestamp where they show up on footage still walking north. I strongly believe, and it may just be a love family one knowing that wanting some more answers, but I think there's somebody out there that knows what actually happened that night, and we would love for them to come forward, and we need some more info.
Verbatim what I just told you guys throughout this entire show, you just heard it. Not from her, but from our man, Chris Dingman. Not hearsay. Information that they received. Information that they got from police reports and other eyewitnesses that were there. People that allegedly ran into Riley and screamed, was the one on the other side at the top of the hill, where Riley was, okay, screaming down at the guy saying, no, he's just drunk, he's okay. He heard his information, his account. Now he was pantless, no boots, no wallet, no cell phone. Now again, could very well be nothing. Water could have done all that. But it is interesting that they haven't gone to the homeless gentleman that ran into him physically and not had a conversation with that young man or with that man. Okay. And then also the other footage. I said exactly what he said. Verbatim. The footage that we watched that was beyond the second bridge, which could, he even said, which could be nothing. It could be nothing, but it could be something too. Maybe they saw something. Maybe those guys are all innocent and nothing of it. What about those guys that were on the scooters that were scooting on by? Did they see Riley as they were passing down, enjoying their ride? Enjoying their little joyride? Did they see a drunk guy falling all over himself as they were scootering down? The people that looked like they were carrying a couch, did they see him right there? Leaning up against a railing, drunk as hell, by himself. Like I said, it doesn't make sense. I know somebody else has said something here too in the comments, so I'm going to grab this. Passed out, stopped breathing, robbed, rolled in water. Maybe, Michelle. Thank you so much for the two, but it could be that too. And again, it could be nothing. But like I said, the family's upset because the police have not fully exhausted everything. At least that's what they're claiming. Okay? Reality. Thank you so much for the 5. Pascal, no, let's refocus here. All of this isn't telling us how he ended up in the water, not breathing to begin with. Sorry, woosah. Yeah, no, you got a point. It doesn't. Okay? But at the same time, if there was foul play before and they took his pants, they took his boots, which, by the way, boots are not cheap. Cell phones are not cheap either. And maybe he had some cash on him. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But if somebody was desperate enough, even the pants, man, you know, men's clothes are not cheap out here. Okay? It's not. Clothing in general is not cheap. Buckle jeans, I don't know how much they run for, but I would assume they're not cheap either. Okay. You see all these things on a guy, he could be a target for those things. And if you're that desperate and you're willing to take whatever off of anybody, there's a possibility. But then again, it could be nothing. Like I said, he could have fallen in. And that's it. But how he got into the water, that's the piece. So we are focused. We are here. We're trying to understand why. Because him without his pants could tell us a story on how he got into the water, guys. Okay? Mountain Girl, thank you so much for the 5. EquiSearch Midwest was denied their services to search. They released a statement, first case ever to deny help. Foul play as F, in my honest opinion. Interesting. That's weird too. Why wouldn't they let EquiSearch Midwest search? Again, that could be nothing. Then it could be something. That's the woosah part. You know what I mean? Use those pressure points, baby. Woosah. Because that's the part that gets frustrating. Because we don't know everything. And maybe this is a case that we never will know. Crazy. In fact, this is the same thing. That if we look at this with the same frustration, same care and passion, and we drag that right over to Sebastian Rogers, there's a lot of frustration about that too, because there's no answers. The possibilities are endless. Everyone, a lot of people are side-eyeing the hell out of the stepfather and the biological mother like crazy. And I don't blame them. I'm even doing a soft, quasi-hard side-eye to those two. But we don't have everything yet. And it's innocent till proven guilty. I know not in the court of public opinion, but in the court of law, innocent till proven guilty. And we have yet to hear or see anything. And the possibilities are freaking endless right now. It is absolutely insane, that case and that search. And we still or the people out there are still ending up with nothing. Zero, zip, zippity doo dah, butt kiss, nothing. And it's frustrating. Imagine what's going on in those parents' minds right now, whether they're innocent or not. If they really just err on the side of innocence, and they literally just lost their son, all three of them, even Seth. Imagine what's going on in their minds. The amount of things that are racing through their minds right now. Probably, I honestly don't even want to be in their brains right now. I'm sure it's absolutely terrifying, the thoughts that have gone through their minds. Everything from the most innocent to the most diabolical. Now we take that same mindset and we bring it over to this family, to Riley Strain's family, that now has found their son in the way that they did not want to find him. And they still don't know the full scope of what happened to their son. Think about that for a second. For all of us, the ones that think it's foul play to the ones that think that it's not foul play. Put that in your minds for a second and think, put yourself in their shoes and wonder, wouldn't you exhaust and stop at nothing to find out the full story and get the full scope of what happened in the last moments of your son's life? I'm going to tell you what, I would exhaust everything and then some. And even if it came out to be like no foul play, and this is what it is, I'd still be asking more and more questions because I would want to make sure that's absolutely 110% accurate. So I don't blame this family. Of course, my thoughts and prayers go out to this family, to the Strain family. I can only imagine what they're going through. But at the same time, if the police aren't going to do their work, do the proper investigation, you know for a fact the families and the loved ones that surround this young man are going to do everything they can to get down to the bottom of it and get to the truth. Period. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Exactly, Debbie. They need full closure. And I don't think they're getting closure right now. So I'm hoping that as they do this autopsy and they do more stuff, maybe they get their own private investigator. I know a couple great ones. But maybe they look into this and maybe they get the same answer. No foul play. Maybe. No matter what, how law enforcement conducted in the search now into this autopsy, very, very odd, guys. And I feel for the family, period. I just feel for them. So I hope they get some justice very soon. You know what? Not justice, clarity. And if within that clarity, justice needs to be exacted, then let them have justice. And may it be swift. May it be mother-loving swift. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. It really does mean a lot. You guys are incredible. Like I said, without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. So I appreciate you guys being here. It really means the world to me. We got to 2K. Wow, that's crazy. 2K likes. That's amazing. But I'm going to ask you guys again, for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, please do me a favor. Crush that like button down below, okay? That would really mean a lot. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Hit that like button on X if you're watching over on X. Please and thank you. Do not forget to hit that follow button on all my social medias from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow me on all those platforms. Please and thank you. Do not forget, if you're watching on YouTube, crush that subscribe button as well. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. It means everything to me. And without you guys, like I said, this show can't grow. And we can't get the exclusive interviews and all of that without your support. So please subscribe. hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family if you're watching on YouTube. If you want to support even more, please join my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Check out pascalmerch.com. Check out my store. I got some really great stuff. Okay? Handcrafted stuff made by these two hands. Real talk. It's me. Real talk. So please go check out those things. All right. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I may be on a little bit later on tonight. We got some other things. We got some other conversations to have in other cases we need to cover. We will be talking about those things. And ain't it funny that I said I was going to do a really short show and then it ends up being almost damn near 2.5 hours? Ain't that funny? Story of my life. Anyway, guys, and it's because of you guys. It's your fault. I'm just going to blame it on you. I'm kidding. But I appreciate you guys. Seriously. All right. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Make sure that notification bell is set to all so that you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Also, check out my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. I'm pulling out clips from previous shows, interviews, and whatnot, and putting them onto the secondary channel. So go over there, please, and thank you. That would really mean a lot. You guys are incredible. I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Much love to you guys. My Lord, you guys are amazing. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.